Hey folks, 6 questions you need the answer to before you decide to go back together with an ex. I'm Jim Miller, helping you find and keep the love of your life and write a better love story. Going to ask, if you're new to the channel, you find value, smash the subscribe button. It should be right over in this ballpark. Tick the bell icon, that way you'll be notified when I upload new content. And give me a thumbs up if you like what I have to say. Leave some comments down in the section below if there's something you want me to talk about. But let's get right into the content, the 6 questions that you need the answer to before you decide to get back together with an ex. Now, this comes from an email that I sent out to my email list here not long ago, asking them to please let me know in a sentence or less, what's the biggest challenge you face in relationships, and more specifically, maybe when getting back together with an ex. And I'm compiling those results to kind of figure out what people want to hear about. But the overwhelming thing that I found was, should I get back together with my ex? There's a lot of shoulds. I mean, obviously you're hurt, you want this person back in your life, but the long-term effects, should I get back together with my ex? So I've compiled these questions, and I'm going to go ahead and answer these questions. These are 6 questions that you need the answers to before you agree to get back together with an ex. Question number 1, why did you break up to begin with? What ended the relationship to begin with? Maybe one or the other people cheated on the other one. Now, betrayal, infidelity, cheating is very difficult to get beyond. It really is. But maybe you just argued over movie choices or music choices or dinner choices or stupid things like that that really don't make a difference in the long run. Do you have fundamental differences, maybe religious fundamental differences, or maybe you have completely different ideas of family and children and things like that? If those are the case, maybe you shouldn't get back together. There are some compromises that need to be made in relationships, but do you want to give up on something that's fundamental that means a lot to you, or does your ex want to give up something that means a lot to them just to put this thing back together? Question number 2. It's kind of a 2-part question. Is it fixable, and are you committed to fixing it? You can't speak for your ex, and your ex may or may not be committed to it. They may not feel it's fixable, but is it really something that's fixable? Going back to my previous examples, maybe if there was infidelity, somebody cheated on somebody, a lot of people can never get past that, and I understand that's a terrible betrayal. I've been there myself. I know other people that have been there, and that's just one of those things that really hurts. That's the ultimate betrayal in a relationship. If that's something, you have to do some real soul searching whether or not you can get over that, or you want to get over that, and whether or not. The second part of that question is, are you committed to fixing this? Maybe your problem was, maybe you guys just argued over stupid little things that really didn't make a difference. Maybe you were too sarcastic. Who knows? Maybe that. Are you committed to fixing it? Are you committed to saying, this can be fixed, and I'm committed to making it work. I'm committed to fixing it. Question number 3, what has changed since the breakup? Now, this is important to know. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And I've seen this happen on multiple occasions. 2 people that broke up for whatever reason, it doesn't really matter, but they still love each other, they still want to be with each other, but they don't make any changes. Nothing really changes. And they get back together, and after that initial week, 2 weeks, month, whatever, that honeymoon phase when you're back together and everything's so wonderful and the infatuation's just flowing and you're so in love, the problems at step number 1 that caused the breakup are still there. And nothing has changed to stop them. Have you made any changes? Now, you can't make changes for your ex. Your ex has to do that on their own. And if you do get back together, that's part of the work they'll have to put in. But what changes have you made? What has changed? Has your situation changed? Has your address changed? Has your job changed? Are there any things that, are there any of the stressors that cause the relationship to break? Have any of those changed? Maybe you're too sarcastic, or your ex didn't like you smoking or something. Maybe you've quit smoking, or you've decided to work on your sarcasm. You've really looked at that and realized, this is a problem in my life. Now, don't make core changes in your life just because your ex wants you to. Don't be somebody that you're not. That's not good. But if you have some problems, or you've had some character issues in the past, and maybe some other relationships have said, hey, this, you need to change. You're sarcastic. Just use that as an example. You need to change that. Maybe it's time that you looked at that and you really did change it, because it's obviously causing you some problems. But if there's things about yourself that you really just don't want to change, and your ex doesn't accept them, it may be time to move on. Maybe time to move on. Question 4, how bad was the breakup? I've seen good breakups. Well, there's nothing a good breakup. I don't know any good breakups, but I've seen breakups that are more amicable, that are more, hey, I'm sorry, kind of mutual thing and whatnot like that. Or was it just this knockdown, drag out fight? I mean, was shit being thrown, when you pulled in the driveway, was your shit being thrown out the window into the front yard or something like that? How bad was the breakup? And one of the reasons why you want to know that is because if nothing's really changed and you do get back together, you could experience this again. And if it was an awful, devastating, terrible breakup, you might have to go through that again if nothing has changed. So ask yourself that question. How bad was the breakup? Was it bad enough that you cannot forgive, that they can't forgive? Were things said, were actions taken that can't be undone very easily? That goes back to question 2, can it be fixed? Is it fixable? But how bad was the breakup? If it was really, really bad, your ex is going to need some time, and you probably need some time to get beyond that, because that will live, those bad memories, those negative memories can live in your head for a while, and you need to be able to get beyond that before you decide to try and put things back together. Question 5. Do you see a future with this person? Specifically, this person in specific. Do you see, when you look at your future life, do you see this person in it, or do you see them as a placeholder? In other words, you just see like a person there, not necessarily this person. Do you just see another person there? Just a woman to love me, or a man just to love me and to rub my feet at night, or whatever. What do you see? Do you actually see this person in your life, or do you just see somebody in your life? If you just see somebody, maybe your motivation to try and get back together with your ex might not be that pure. It might not be that good. You might need to take a look at that. But if you truly see this person in your life, if you really see them, then maybe you need to move on and pursue this a little further. And question number 6 that you need the answer to before you move forward is, what do your friends and family think? Now, your friends and family love you. They only are looking out for you. They only want what's best for you. They think is best for you. And you could run into a snag here. I did a video, I'll put it up in one of these corners when it's all said and done at the end of the video, about dealing with friends and family and managing your friends and family when it comes to getting back with an ex. Now, but I will give you a little quick story. Many years ago, a long time ago, I was in a breakup situation. My friends and family were kind of adamant about me not getting back together with this woman. They just really thought that I'd put too much into it, and maybe it just wasn't a good fit and whatnot like that. And a lot of my friends were like, you don't want to go back down that road. And I did it anyway. Okay. But getting back together with that ex resulted in a marriage that lasted 11 years. It did eventually end, and it's okay. It ended very amicably. But during that marriage, we had 2 children. I cannot imagine my life without those kids in my life now. They're older. They're grown up now. They're 27, 25 as of this video. But they are the 2 most wonderful, dynamic, my favorite people in the world. And I can't imagine my life. Now, had I listened to my friends and family, or had I listened to my friends, not necessarily my family, but had I listened to my friends and, I'm not going back down that road, where would I be today? I might have gotten married, might have had kids with some other woman, but these 2 individuals who mean the world to me would not be here with me. It would be different. And I just can't imagine life anywhere. So when you run into, and you will run into, the one and done crowd, hey, never look back, never go back, there's a billion fish in the sea, When you run into that, you have to decide what's right for you. At that time, 30 years ago, whatever it was, I decided that was right for me. And as a result, it was tremendously wonderful time that I had. I have no regrets about that whatsoever. So that's it, folks. The 6 questions you need the answer to before you decide to go back with an ex. Number 1, why did you break up in the first place? Number 2, can it be fixed, and are you committed to fixing it? Number 3, what has changed since the split? Number 4, how bad was the breakup? Number 5, do you really see a future with this person? And number 6, what do your friends and family have to say? That's what I got for you tonight, folks. Jim Miller, helping you find and keep the love of your life and write a better love story. I would ask you to check the description down below. Got a couple of free ebooks that I give away in there. Also, my personal email. If you have a relationship question, please post it in the comments down below, or send me an email if it's a private matter. Put a comment down below what you'd like for me to talk about, and we'll see if I can make a video about that. Anyway, folks, I hope you have a great night. Thank you very much. Bye.